Welcome, it's Denome, and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the BRICS Pay system. So BRICS Pay system is the central bank digital currency system of the BRICS countries, which are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And this system is going to replace the current SWIFT payment system that the developing countries are using. And one of the reasons why this is being developed is obviously the war on Ukraine, because after the war started, Russia was banned from using Western banks, the SWIFT system. And that has basically pushed the trend forward and fastened the pace that the BRICS countries have to use their own system because they cannot trust the Western countries anymore. So that's the reason why they're creating this one. European Union is creating their own central bank digital currency system, as well as the United States is building its own central bank digital currency system. So this is just a competing system to those systems there. And this is just on top of the trend, what we are currently seeing, which is the de-dollarisation trend. So as you can see, this is just from a couple of days ago. So China is dumping $74 billion of US debt in just 7 months. And there's another one here. This article was from May 21st. And what we can see here is in world trade, you can see that foreign exchange reserves, United States dollar is losing its market share. Not a lot, but still losing. So that's the trend there. And at the same time, when we take a look at China, from 2015 to 2023, we can see that this red line is amount of gold China is currently holding, as well as the blue line is the amount of United States debt that they have been selling. So since 2020, basically China has been dumping United States debt while it's been accumulating gold. So that's why we see gold go up in price, but this is also a larger trend where Bitcoin is going up as well, because Bitcoin has a limited supply. We know there's a lot of money printing all over the world, as well as you cannot even trust the banks anymore. You cannot really trust the global trade system at the moment. So that's why people are basically buying gold, and countries are buying gold as well as Bitcoin. So that's the trend there. So de-dollarization is just a trend that is going to continue. And the effect of de-dollarization doesn't mean that United States dollar is going to be worthless or is going to go to zero. It simply means that over time, asset prices will go up, as well as prices in consumer goods are going to go up as well. So that's basically de-dollarization there. That's the big trend. But against that trend, the BRICS countries have decided to implement this BRICS Pay system. So now let's actually dive deep into what this system is, and then I will talk about the ultimate goal behind these central bank digital currency systems as well. So this is gonna sound a little bit, let's say, conspiratorial at the end, because I have very, let's say, hardened opinions about this, but I will share them anyway. But I respect even if you disagree with my analysis. But here, when we take a look at what the actual system is, you can see that the team behind the system is consisting of individuals from all 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And it will enable digital payments between countries and BRICS Plus countries. So BRICS Plus countries are simply other countries that are not part of the 9 BRICS countries yet, but want to implement this system anyway. And it will allow businesses and consumers to basically trade in their local currency, as well as exchange local currency to other currencies and seamlessly make trades. So let's say if you are South African and you go to China, you can use the same exact mobile application and trade with your local currency, and it will be just swapped to Chinese yuan, and there will be very little transaction fees and conversion fees in the system. That's basically the idea here. And there's a beautiful video here that I will show you very, very soon that will basically show you how it works in real life. But it's a combination of traditional payment systems and new technologies, central bank digital currencies, decentralized finance, and tokenized assets. So some people think that this is that they are using some existing blockchain technology like ethereum or something like that, but that's not the case. They will implement their own system here, so it's not directly bullish on crypto. It could even be anti-bullish, because this probably means that they want to ban other systems, that only you can only use this system here. But obviously while they are pushing for it, they don't want to bring out the big guns yet. So that's why they use these trendy words to basically tell people that, hey, this is okay, we are just here to help you. And once you are in the system, they are like, yeah, fuck that. Now you can only use our system, so now you are enslaved. But I will get to that part very soon. Let's actually continue. So decentralization, not centralized in the hands of central operators, I don't believe it. Equal rights, I don't believe it. Responsibility, sustainability, transparency, security, yeah, I don't believe any of that. But it will be nice if it will have those things. But now let's actually take a look at how it will look in real life. So here is this guy buying some bottle of wine here. Looks very expensive wine. And then he goes to the counter and tries to pay for it. And now when we zoom in, what we can see here is you can see Russian payment system. You see Alipay, which is used in China. WeChat payment system is going to be implemented here. Here you can see Union Pay, and I think this is ELO and other ones. So whatever system that you're currently using in these BRICS countries is basically going to be implemented inside here. And then you can simply select whatever account you want to use. And once you have chosen the account here, you scan the QR code, and voila, and then you have the receipt and you're done. That's how it works, and it works the same way in every country. So no more basically system hopping. You don't have to take money from ATMs. You simply use this mobile app. And here are some of the banks which are going to implement it: Union Pay, Alipay, WeChat Pay, HSBC, some other ones here as well. And they say that the doors are open for all participants to basically come and develop on top of this protocol, this system here. You can even send them an email if you want to join the BRICS Pay system and create global enslavement system if you want to do that for some reason. But it's gonna include some encryption. It supports the Swift messaging standard, and as well as the Chinese payment system and the Russian payment system. So basically, it's just a system that the BRICS countries will use. And then if you are in Europe, you can basically just there's going to be an interface, and you can directly transact with this BRICS Pay system. If you're in European Union or if you are in the United States, it will be connected to this one as well. And that's basically it. But at the end of the day, the settlements will be done in a completely new wholesale digital currency. So this will be created, this CBDC will be created to the back end of the system, which will be interact with national currencies, rates, emissions, and clearing. But this whole digital CBDC is currently still under development, and we don't know the details of it. But we know that private banks, central banks, and countries will basically be able to settle the payments at the end of the days. But that's basically it. Then we have some reports from 2018, 2020, and 2021. So let's actually take a look at the 2021 paper for now, and let's take a look at what's basically being developed as of lately. Unfortunately, we do not have an update after 2021, so I don't know how far they are into the development and how far away they are actually from executing this idea here. But we know that this is still being implemented, and China is basically the country that is mostly pushing this forward at the time. And by the way, this video is from 2019, so there's 4 years of development after this video already. Yes, so let's actually open the 2021 paper here, and when we scroll down, we can see the goals of the protocol here. And it will get dystopian very, very soon, so that will be interesting. So sustainable development goals SDGs are part of this system here, as well as this BRICS Pay system is subscribing to the United Nations Agenda 2030. And I will talk about this very, very soon. They are subscribed to the roadmap of Agenda 2030. And then obviously, when we take a look at ESG, which is the environmental sustainability goals, they are obviously subscribing to that as well. You can see this word ESG is said 45 times, and in this 102 paper presentation here as well. And they are actually implementing the carbon credit trading system here as well. And obviously, of course, anti-money laundering guidelines will be issued here, and that basically means that once people are using this BRICS Pay system, you cannot use any other payment system. You cannot use cash, because obviously if you use any other system, you are obviously money laundering. So you have to use this BRICS Pay system, of course. Why would you use any other system? Because that is for thieves only. So yeah, you have to prevent all misuse. But the benefit here, and this is to facilitate faster digitalization of financial services, deepen financial inclusion, make delivery of government support programs more efficient. So that's basically the goal there. Now, let's actually hop over to the Agenda 2030, because this is where things get real dystopian. So this BRICS Pay system is simply the BRICS version of the CBDC. But all of these systems, doesn't matter if it's the BRICS Pay system, or it's the European Union CBDC system, or it's the United States CBDC system, or whatever system, they are all subscribing to the Agenda 2030. So what is Agenda 2030? The easy way to say it is that it is global government. So what they say here is that they want to strengthen universal peace. They want to eradicate poverty. And I will talk about this very, very soon, why this is bad. But all countries, all stakeholders have to act in collaborative partnership, and they will implement this plan. Basically meaning that every country has to be subscribing to this thing. If they are not, then that's going to be very, very bad for them. Probably they need some democracy or something like that. But anyway, they want to end the tyranny of poverty. And it's so funny here. No one will be left behind. Gender equality, empowerment of all women and girls. So basically it's the woke agenda, let's say communistic agenda here. And when we read further, it will get more and more dystopian. So people, they want to end poverty, they want to end hunger, they want sustainable consumption and production, sustainable managing of natural resources, action on climate change, economic, social, and technological progress in harmony with nature, inclusive societies which are free from fear and violence. And this is dystopian, because how can you be free from fear? The only way is obviously that you have to control the flow of information, because if you live in fear, then you have received some information. But if you don't get the information, you don't have anything to worry about. And how can you be free from violence? The only way you can be free from violence is that you are living in a police state, where basically everybody has a gun to their head, and you know that if they break the rules, they will be shot immediately. So that's the only way there's no violence. If everybody is being monitored, watched all the time, and the flow of information is being heavily controlled. That's the goal there. That's the goal for peace. And obviously, this whole system, Agenda 2030, will be focused on the needs of the poorest and the most vulnerable. And the reason why this is important is that they are not talking about the middle class. So they want to end the middle class with this Agenda 2030. So if you have any kind of money, then you have to subscribe to the carbon limit system. Once you are done with your carbon limits, then you can no longer buy food, you cannot travel, you cannot do any of these things because your carbon limits are already done. And that will be so that the poorest people and the most vulnerable people have a shot at life. But obviously the political elite can still use jets because they have to go to their parties, they have to fly, they have to talk about these sustainability things and all these things. They have to have their private boats. Obviously, political elite will do whatever they want. So middle class is being eradicated with the Agenda 2030. That's the goal there. So I think this is completely dystopian, but the upside here is that I don't think people will actually accept this BRICS Pay system. Personally, I believe people will accept the European Union CBDC system because they are just so dystopian. Once people have been adopted in the system, it is no longer a system, just a system among other systems. It is the only system you are allowed to use. And then if you do something bad, you will be immediately locked out of payments. The sellers cannot use any other system because obviously it will be money laundering if they take any other forms of money. So I don't think people will be accepting this. I think this will fall flat. And another good thing is, or another thing that I do suspect is that this Agenda 2030, I think many countries that are at least on the surface subscribing to this agenda don't really subscribe to the agenda. I think they are just saying they support this agenda, but they don't plan to make a political suicide in their own country. So they want other countries to basically subscribe to this suicidal agenda while they themselves do the opposite things, or they do just a little bit of this Agenda 2030. So I don't think, even though we only have 6 years until 2030, I don't think this agenda will be adopted at least to the fullest extent. So I think at the end of the day, I don't have to be worried about this one. I don't think the BRICS Pay system will have a lot of wind. Even now you can see that the development cycle seems to be very, very slow. China is pushing for their own system, but there's a lot of problems even within the BRICS, as well as European nations have a lot of issues right now, especially because of the war. What happened right at the start of the war is that COVID passports were immediately declined. The whole COVID madness, digital ID systems were abandoned immediately because suddenly they had a war to deal with. So they didn't want to push people forward into madness and tyranny. So they stopped that one. So I don't think it will go as smoothly as people think. But what we can basically take out of this one is that de-dollarization is still happening on the background. We know that people do not trust fiat currencies. And even as they are trying to implement another fiat system, which is the BRICS Pay system, or it's the European Union CBD system, or whatever, people, I don't think they will trust fiat currency. And when we just take a look at not what they say, but what they do, we can see that they are accumulating Bitcoin, they are accumulating gold, they are accumulating real estate, they are accumulating land. That's basically what's happening on the background. So the global agenda right now is not really that much about the fiat currencies. These are just nice words that they're trying to prolong the life cycle of the fiat currency, but what really they want to do is basically grab assets. And that's why I do believe that the bull run is still going to continue. That's why I do believe that gold will still continue to grow to the upside. And I think people want to choose like Ethereum based payment systems, the stable coins, which are sort of fragmented, not centralized in the powers of these countries, which are known to have huge humanitarian problems inside them. So that's my take on the BRICS Pay system and the whole CBDC situation at the moment. Thanks for watching with this video. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my statement or analysis, or if you completely disagree. If I missed something important, please let me know. I'm happy to learn more as well. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.